Hello there, and today I have some exciting news for y'all as pictures of the highly anticipated 2025 ARC-170 Starfighter have finally dropped. It's set number 75402 with 497 pieces, and it's going to cost $70 with its official release date on January 1st of 2025. Although if you find it earlier, send me an Instagram DM. Now, I'm going to go through everything you need to know on this set. We're even going to start by dissecting the box art, because I think that matters. We'll start with the key art, that being the 332nd Trooper on the bottom left corner of the box. And for whatever reason, LEGO Star Wars keeps doing this the wrong way. If it's a Revenge of the Sith set, which this is because it's got Cato Neimoidia, hopefully I said that right, with Plo Koon Starfighter in the background as its box art, it should have Darth Vader in the corner. They made this same mistake on the ATTE, or maybe it's not a mistake, maybe they just see Clone Trooper and think the box art should therefore have a Clone Trooper, but with their last 5 years of box art styling, like that's supposed to be Darth Vader down there. So I don't know what they're doing there. The other takeaway from this box art is that there's no markings for the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. We saw back in 2023 a little logo for the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars. In 2024, we saw it for the Phantom Menace. We also saw Return of the Jedi back in 2023. So over the past couple years, I keep hitting this. We had a bunch of movie anniversaries that were celebrated, and they would have a little designation on the box. That has not happened here, and that might be concerning for hopes of Revenge of the Sith anniversary sets continuing later in the year, as 2025 is, of course, the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So I'm a little bit worried there, and that worry is exacerbated by the fact that we got news the other day, and I shared it at the end of a video recently, that the Plo Koon Starfighter rumored 2025 set isn't going to be a full-size set to pair with this ARC-170, which after seeing the box art with Plo Koon Starfighter on it, hurts even more because it's supposed to be a microfighter and not the full-size set, and I think that's really unfortunate. We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close. But it's very cool that they depicted the Order 66 scene on the box. Like, definitely was not on my bingo card for 2025. Now, getting into the minifigs in this set lines up exactly with what the rumors were saying. We've got Oddball, Jag, a regular clone pilot, and then R4P44, just an updated version of an astromech droid that we have had before in the previous ARC-170 here. And all of the pilots look to be exactly the same, except for their helmets being different, which, of course, makes sense. They're clone troopers. The only thing that's bad about these figures is that they don't use dual molded legs. These would look frankly perfect with dual molded legs. It's just one of those like, oh, you got to cut costs somewhere because God forbid we give people the best value for their money for a $70 Lego Star Wars set, But they do look very good. I'm very happy with them. I think the designs on the helmets look very nice. Everything looks pretty clean on them. They're keeping that lighter gray color for the clone pilot jumpsuit. It's something that in the past, like 2005 to 2010-ish. They used the sand blue color, but in the 2010s, they switched over to the lighter gray, and so that is continuing here. And then the astromech droid RP444 looks very nice. Like I said, updated astromech droid. It's hard to mess those up. I assume it won't have backprinting. I think the only astromechs to have backprinting to this point are still just R2-D2s, and for whatever reason, everything else gets the shaft. So I expect R4 here to, of course, get the shaft. I think you can always want more from a figure selection like this. I know a lot of people wanted to throw in Jedi just to have a Jedi. Hopefully, we'll see more of that in the latter half of 2025. Plo Koon, just considering the box art, would have been the fit here, but we know he's coming in the microfighter in June, so didn't really need that here. And so ultimately, I feel like this figure selection is about perfect. I mean, other than dual molded legs, it's pretty perfect. So like 9 out of 10, basically. So good there. Now, when it comes to the build for the ARC-170, it is not as small as I expected. I thought it was going to look much smaller. I mean, it's definitely going to be smaller than the 2005 and 2010 sets, and there are some aspects where you can pretty clearly tell that. I think the main cannons on the end of the wings of the ARC-170 are clearly much smaller, but I hope that's for like good reason too, because one of the issues with some of these older ones is that the wings would sag quite a bit. I'm hoping the sagging on these wings is not as noticeable because they're smaller. They should be a bit tighter to the ship. It'll be a little bit easier for them to support themselves. So I'm hoping that that is one of the bigger upgrades that we'll end up seeing when I get this set in hand to review and compare to the older models. Like that's definitely one of the biggest downsides with the older models. Now it does incorporate a spring-loaded shooter into the wing instead of like the proper top cannon, so I don't love the way that that looks just as far as like an accuracy perspective goes, but definitely feels like a nice play feature. It looks like on the main wing panel on the inside, they've got a nice sticker hidden in there, so some extra detail inside. And then on top, they've also got the Republic logo and then the half white, half red sticker. That's something that they previously detailed with bricks, but I guess in this slightly smaller scale, they could no longer do that, so they had to use a sticker for that detail. Now for the mechanism that will open and close the wings, it looks quite interesting. On the bottom of the ARC-170, it looks like there's just a piece that you push to one side or the other, and that just opens and closes them. So we'll see how that functions in real life. The old versions used rubber bands, and you had to spin a piece at the back, and so that is just a massive change up. It definitely reminds me more of like the 2021 X-Wing system, and so, but it's still different. Like we still have never had that side-to-side pushing motion causing something to open. So I'm very curious to see how this actually works. The thrust with that light pink hue looks just amazing as always on ARC-170s, and then kind of the engine intake area is somewhere that I feel like they've really cleaned up on this model. Previous versions basically use like a big wheel piece. I feel like this looks a lot cleaner. It's gotten rid of a lot of the ridges that the old version would have. Now, when it comes to the windscreen pieces, it looks like they are using stickers to detail them, so no prints here as far as I can tell, but judging from the way my 15-year-old ARC-170 stickers look, I think these will do just fine as long as you apply them well. The interior cockpit space looks pretty clean. At the very front, they've got a printed control panel. I assume the one in the middle there is going to be a stickered control panel because I don't think I've seen that before, and usually we don't get like new prints like that. So I'll assume it's a sticker, but maybe it's a print. And then at the very back, there is no control panel at all. You just have the station to man the back cannons, and I don't love the design of the back cannons. Actually, I don't love that it like cuts out part of the back, and it's hard to see any shots in the movie that show whether missing a big chunk out of the back of the ARC-170 is accurate or not. But I do like that they are using the ball joints, because I always hated if I lift up my ARC-170 that the weapon would just fall down. And yeah, like I don't love that this one's loose, so I do think using the ball joint is a bit of an improvement, because you can actually point it and let it stay the way you want instead of it just flopping all around. I think this set pretty much hits all the marks you would want for a solid ARC-170 experience in 2025, and it's the first LEGO Clone Trooper set with good Clone Trooper helmets in 3 years, I'm pretty sure. Like, so it's got that going for it too. It's the first time I can actually be happy with a Clone Trooper minifig in a good while, so this is great. I like this set, pretty excited for it. Couple small issues I'll discuss more in the review, but the couple small issues here in this case are not deal breakers. This is a pretty fantastic episode 3 set, and hopefully more to come, but as we discussed early on, the box art doesn't have an anniversary logo, and maybe this is one of very few for next year. It's hard to tell. Obviously, the Micro Fighter news was bad news, but yeah, let me know what you guys think below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and that's every January set revealed, so I'll do a January all-in-one recap video here soon.